Social organizations, government organizations, and athletic programs are three broad categories in which various extracurricular activities fall into. According to newsroom.com, 6 out of 10 students participate in extracurricular activities. Ever since I was little, I was always told that I needed to get involved in everything that I could. I was told that the more that I was involved in high school, the better prepared I would be for my future, and the more opportunities would be created for me. Students need to be involved in extracurricular activities because it helps students stay out of trouble, there are a lot of benefits, and it helps students get more organized and develop better time management skills. First, let's talk about how students stay out of trouble. Being involved in extracurricular activities can be very overwhelming because they are very time consuming. However, because students are very busy, they do not have time to get into trouble. Most clubs and organizations have practices and meetings after school, having less time for students to get into trouble. When students are involved in sports, most practices take place after school and they usually are around 2 hours. This leaves less time for students to get into trouble, and most students will go home right after the practices and do their homework. When being involved in sports and extracurricular activities, curfews are regulated. Curfews make sure that students are home at a specific time each night, decreasing the chances of them getting into trouble late at night. The students must be responsible enough to be home on time, or they may suffer the consequences. Students have to worry about practices, games, schoolwork, and performances, leaving no time for unnecessary trouble. When students are involved in extracurricular activities, their GPA increases. Because of the little amount of free time students have, it causes them to focus more and to get their homework done on time. It is essential that students keep their grades up or they cannot participate in their activity. Getting good grades and staying out of trouble is motivation for the students so that they can participate. By doing so, students develop a better work ethic and they learn about setting priorities. Next, let's talk about all the benefits. Students will have better grades so that they can remain eligible. This will increase the students' chances of getting into a good college, and it'll help them when they are applying for scholarships. To remain eligible, students must also follow the rules. Students cannot get into serious trouble, or they may get kicked out of the organization. By being involved, students get the chance to meet more people and make more friends. Students meet people from all around and from other schools, and so that they can form new relationships. According to studymoose.com, student government positions give students the sense of responsibility and allow students to build connections that can help them when it comes to finding a job. The social benefits can also lead to academic benefits. Physical activity is shown to increase the academic performance. When your team is performing better on the court and in the classroom, it is incentive that the individual player does better as well. Being involved also has health benefits. According to globalsports.com, young people generally get less physical activity the older that they get. But if they stay involved in sports programs, they're more likely to reap the physical benefits that they otherwise would not receive. This certainly helps alleviate one of the factors that can lead to obesity. Being involved in sports can also lead to better eating habits, causing students to pay more attention to nutrition. Students who participate in extracurricular activities, especially sports, are held to higher standards. There are constantly people looking up to them as they are easily identifiable. The more that students are involved in, the better prepared they are for the rest of their life. There are various organizations that students should join that will help them develop integral skills that they will need for the rest of their life. Being involved also helps when students are starting to apply for scholarships and job applications. The more that students are involved in, the better it looks on applications. By being involved in various organizations, it can show people a lot of good things about your character. Being involved also shows students ways to handle different situations. Students learn about the respect of others and themselves. Students will become more confident in themselves and will be more open-minded of others as they may have gone through the same situations. Being involved, especially in sports, helps students learn how to win and how to lose. Winning is exciting and fun, but students must remain humble, which is something that they will learn over time. They also learn how to lose respectfully. Being involved also helps build character. Some students become more grateful and more respectful, making younger kids look up to them even more. It is crucial that students learn how to lead by example, especially when younger kids are looking up to them. Last, let's talk about how extracurricular activities will make students more organized and will teach them about better time management skills. According to theeducator.com, a student has to learn how to balance their academic life with their hobbies. They need to know how to incorporate club and sports activities into their school life and allocate enough time for each. They learn how to plan out their day to include study time and co-curricular activity time, and will know how to make use of any free time that they have. Such a student is also less likely to procrastinate. Because extracurricular activities are time-consuming, students have to be sufficient with the time that they have, and they need to be organized. While being involved, this allows teens to take responsibility in school and in home life because they will learn the importance of deadlines and develop a better work ethic when completing an activity. By developing these skills, students are refining the very skills that will be highly sought after in their future careers. Being involved in high school can be stressful and time-consuming. However, by being involved in high school, students are able to experience firsthand the indicators of stress and how they can deal with them in the future. And they will also use those same similar coping skills. Students learn how to be sufficient with their time, especially with their free time, as things need to get done on time. Students learn how having good time management skills will be a tremendous help to students as they get older and start college and applying for jobs. Some have said that being a high schooler will be the hardest job that you have. It's like you have 7 bosses. You're trying to manage your coach's expectations with your teacher's expectations, along with your parents' expectations. Juggling all these expectations and deadlines may be overwhelming, but it teaches kids how to be on top of things, and they need to learn to be prepared and organized. Students are also more organized because they have to make sure that all of their homework is done and turned in early if they will miss class due to the activity. They also need to make sure they have all the necessary equipment for their activity. In conclusion, it is very important that all students are involved in extracurricular activities. While there may be downfalls, the positives outweigh the negatives. Not only is it important that students are involved in high school, it is also important that students are involved when they go off to college. Students need to be involved because it keeps kids out of trouble, there are a lot of benefits, and they learn how to be organized and they will develop better time management skills. I hope this speech showed you all the positive outcomes that comes out of being involved.